Welcome to the Spectra Ocean Dream Circuit. Racers, start your engines. Racers, start your engines.
What's up? What is up? What is up, fellow gamers? If you're not a gamer, then why are you here? If you are a gamer, then welcome in. Today is a Tuesday. It's true. It's true. It is a Tuesday. And that means that I have more shit to talk about, baby. AKA, I have some work stuff to complain about, but it's kind of like the same old work stuff to complain about. There's nothing new to complain about work-wise. It still is like the same level of sucking. It's just different varieties. But we do have a new anime to talk about, because at this point it has become kind of a weekly tradition. You guys have gotten me on this anime watching shit. And so now I have been kind of strong-armed into watching yet another one. And this time, I'm glad to announce that I have finished the whole thing. I've watched it, the whole damn thing. Now, given this was only a one-season anime with like 12 episodes, but I did finish the whole thing, and so I can talk about the entire thing in its, in its entirety, which is great. Which is great for a change, I would say. This is a huge, huge benefit. Sheep talk faster. I don't have much time. The anime that we are going to talk about today is one that was requested a little bit earlier in the last Red Ball stream. It is Yuri on Ice Like I said, one season, 12 episodes, Yuri on Ice. I believe this was produced all the way back in 2016, if I'm correct. Yes, it came out in 2016. That is Yuri on Ice is a 2016 anime, 12 episodes. Yeah, there is no Yuri in Yuri on Ice. That is the first thing. In fact, in the very first episode, there is a naked man in it. Okay, so it is quite, it is very yaoi. It is very yaoi. Why is it called Yuri on Ice? Because the main character's name is Yuri. And also, another side character that is also the main character is also named Yuri. Now, the most unrealistic part about this entire anime is that there's a man from Russia named Yuri. But it is a thing. It is a yaoi. Yes, it is a yaoi. Although, I will say, the yaoi elements of it are severely toned down from what I imagined the manga was, because it feels like a bunch of people who hate gay people like took a look at this anime and said, no yaoi here. If boys are kissing, it's not allowed. It makes me very mad, because it's like it alludes so heavily to the fact that there are two guys just, switching every night, which is fine, which is great. But let's see some more PDA in this hoe, okay? Let's get some more PDA in this hoe. That's what I want. Because there's not even, they gave each other rings. They literally gave each other rings at the very last episode, but they didn't kiss a single time. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? It's like, bro, like, I hate homophobic people so much. Why can't I just get some fucking dudes kissing in my goddamn anime, dude? I'm so mad. I was so pissed. It's so stupid. Yuri's a common name. Really? Yuri is a common name in Russia? Dead ass? I thought that shit was not at all. Am I tripping? I guess it is. Never mind. I guess it's the most realistic. Never mind. The most realistic part of the anime is that a guy from Russia is named Yuri. All right. Rings but no kiss is crazy. I know. It's so stupid. It pisses me off. And I am also glad to say that overall, this is going to be a positive review. All right? I quite enjoyed this anime. It's more, I think a lot of this going to be talking about it. It's going to be more of me like picking flies off the meat as opposed to like really eating the meat itself, because like, if I am the vulture in this kind of, in this example, then the meat is too fresh. It's too pure for me to eat as the vulture. I can only really eat the flies, I can only really pick at it because like the foundation is solid. It's a very solid anime. I don't believe you. I promise. It's pretty good. Now, it is about figure skating. So I went into this with ball knowledge. It's a sports flavored anime about figure skating and about figure skaters. And I know a lot about figure skating because my parents watched a lot of figure skating when I was a kid. And so I by proxy watched a lot of figure skating. And so I know I know more than the average person about figure skating. Are all the figure skaters named Yuri? No. Some of them are named Victor. Then there's another guy named JJ. But the two main guys are Yuri and Yuri. One of them is 23 and the other one is 15, because that's how ages in figure skating work. Figure skating is one of those weird sports where like a bunch of like young teens get really good really young. So I'm going to ask what I was going to. Never mind. Probably smart. Probably good. You know what, Stevie? I like that. Pivoting and readjusting. That's good. His name is JJK. True. No, but it was really good. Up until the final episode, the ending was shit. But everything else was really good. I think what I really like, I think overall, this is what I want you to take away from me watching this anime, or from watching, this particular story in general. I am just so happy that I finally get to watch a story that was designed to end. If you kind of get what I'm saying. I am so sick of these animes that insist on going on and on and on. That they are these never-ending stories, that there must be another arc. God, it is so satisfying to just get a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's got the we've got the rising action, we've got the climax, we've got the falling act. It's like it's so satisfying to finally get a story like this, because it feels like, so many of these like animes that I watch are stuck in this perpetual fucking sequel cycle. I feel like with American media, it's much more pronounced, where it's like, oh god, they're making another fucking sequel of a beloved property and they're just gonna butcher it. But I feel like with Japan, it feels like everything is just set up for it to continue on and on. It never stops. It just keeps going. The One Piece will never be found because it's the never-ending story. Like, golly, bro. It's just very exhausting. And so I'm just happy to watch I don't want to say spiffy, but it's like a nice, contained story. And that's all it has to be. Forget the ending. Forget the ending ever happened. Wipe it out of your mind. The ending doesn't exist. The ending is whatever you can want it to be. But yeah, Yuri on Ice, very good. Very good. Yuri on Ice is very good. What shows you watching? I watched Naruto and I watched Solo Leveling. Those are the two that I have recently talked about. Specifically anime. The other ones I was reading mangas, but I've switched to watching anime just because of the way my work is now is. Why is there a naked man in my lesbian romance? Actually, there are more. There's not any lesbian romance in Yuri on Ice. There's zero. No girls, no kissing. It doesn't happen here. It is straight guys. And they don't even kiss. Yeah, well, there are some girls, but they're like, they're side characters. They're like side characters. Not even like the level of side characters. They're like background characters. So just like lame. What's wrong with boys kissing? Fuck you. The fuck is wrong with a couple of dudes macking it? Although they don't even mack it, so it's kind of disappointing in that regard. But even still. What's wrong with the concept of boys kissing? Because, again, when are we getting Super Mario streams? Never, because I'm not a fucking ripoff. I speedrun my own damn games, okay? Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna go speedrun Super Mario. Fuck no. I'm not gonna be like every other, streamer that got big from that particular era. I'm not another Ludwig. I try to differentiate myself from Ludwig, even though I look like him. I have nothing against boys kissing. It's just that when the boys are there, they don't kiss. It's lame. That's what I'm saying. But I think it's just because people hate gay people, and it's unfortunate. I think that if the animators could have the boys kissing, I think that there would be some more explicit romance in the actual story. It's just that I imagine that there are laws around hey, it's the anti-boys kissing law. And it's unfortunate, so it kind of just limits what what we're allowed to have. But yeah, overall the story is really good. I think the one thing that kind of miffed me is the amount of figure skating in the figure skating anime. Just because figure skating at its core is a pretty cyclical sport. Throughout the entire year, you've literally got 2 routines, and you do the same 2 routines over and over and over again, which is fine and dandy and good, but, when you keep on showing the same routine again and again and again with, different monologues, it's all right, brother, we get the point. Can we, maybe get some more, backstory? I feel like so much of the time that was spent on the actual figure skating animation, which does look janky and kind of shit for the most part, but that's kind of most anime stuff, so I don't really hold it against it. I wish that there was more backstory, because it feels like so many different characters were very unexplored. I can give you a short plot summary. So basically what happens. Oh, I should probably. Do you guys want me to give you a short plot summary, or do you guys give a fuck about any of this? I could just run through the whole story in a minute. If you guys are down, I don't want to spoil nothing. I don't want to be too bold with my power here as a knower, you know? Or do you guys just want to LARP? Because I can give you all of your talking points and then you can LARP like you actually care about this shit. Entirely fine. The show is set in Russia. It's actually like set half in Japan. It's set mostly in Japan, actually. Mostly in Japan. It's just that there are some Russians because, you know, the Russians and their winter sports. It's a pretty normal thing around there. I didn't hear a word. You said I was coughing to death. I'm about to spoil everything, Stevie. Because I want to talk more about the story in depth. So if you don't want to know about this story, then don't listen. But if you want to LARP like you have watched this anime, you don't really plan on watching it, then, you know, here you go. I'll give you all your opinions. So basically what happens, there's a figure skater named Yuri. It's like Yuri Kotsky or whatever the fuck. And his name is Yuri. And he is a professional figure skater. And the last time he went on like the world tour of like figure skating or whatever, he got dead last. He got fucking embarrassed because he was dog shit at the fucking game. He was shit. And so he's like, I don't know if I'm going to come back or not. I'm super depressed. Until he posts a video online, or like a video of his gets posted where he's like doing some figure skating shit, and that catches the eye of this guy named Victor. Now Victor is kind of a big deal because he is the king of figure skating. He has been like the world champion like 5 times in a row. Like he's the fucking goat of this hoe, and he's Russian. And so he sees this video of Yuri doing his figure skating. He's like, I'm inspired. I'm gonna go. He goes to Japan and becomes Yuri's coach. And by the way, Victor is Yuri's like fucking idol. Like Yuri's like, oh my god, I idolize Victor. He's so goated and hot and shit. And I would never kiss him, but I definitely would. I'm thinking about it, although I'll never say it. And so then, you know, Victor comes to Japan to become Yuri's coach. And so the entire anime is just like the adventure of these two, you know, gentlemen trying to win Yuri a championship or whatever. That is the story in a simple phrase. Now, there's a couple of problems that I have. Not with, like, there's some inherent silliness to the story because it's like, there are some, like, funny comedic elements that I enjoy. And I think that the voice actors do a pretty good job, especially the Russian ones. I think that the Russian voice actors do a very good job. I quite like Victor's voice actor. I think that the side characters I wish that they developed Victor's character a little bit more. Because it feels like him, I feel like there's such an, it didn't feel like it was bad. Victor was not like a bad character. Like, you know, you learned about Victor, you liked Victor, it wasn't bad, but it just felt like there was so much more. Like, that you know, going from like one season being the greatest figure skater in the world to suddenly becoming a coach, like, what is that like, right? How do you do that? And then how do you cope with this different level of stress that you're now facing? Because it is different. Like when you're a coach and when you're watching versus when you're playing is a totally different level. It's a different kind of stress when you can't do anything to affect the outcome versus when you are in complete control of your destiny. That is a crazy difference. I wish they would have explored that more, because that to me is like such an interesting part of like, or it could have been an interesting part of like Victor's character and psychology. You know, how does he become the best coach for Yuri, right? While still, you know, definitely not kissing each other, right? That could be so interesting, and it's just never really explored. I think that some of the side characters that get introduced a bit late are just not really given time to develop. I think that there's like there's one character, and I totally forget his name, but he's the favorite to win the championship, right? And it's because he's so confident. Like literally, his very first song was composed for him, and it's talking about how he is such a goated fucking skater and how he's the greatest of all time. And I'm like, okay, that's a really funny concept. Like the favorite is this super confident guy. He, you know, he's not like egotistical or anything. He's just incredibly confident in himself. And it's like, why can't we like explore that a little bit more? Because in the end, spoiler alert, in the very final like world championship or whatever, he falls. Like he doesn't do very well, or like compared to his standards, he comes in third, which is like he was expected to like fucking blow away the competition, but he comes in third. And so it's like, man, what is that like? Like, can we get some explanation into why he fell? Because I feel like there's an element of like, you know, everybody is confident until the pressure becomes too high, and then they just break down. They just crack. Let's look at that. What is it like to be the favorite and then just failing? And that just isn't explored. And then there's like an older guy who's like, I've been competing forever, and this might be my last chance at getting a world championship. And it's like, let's look into that. Like, what is it like to be at your, knowing that this is your last opportunity, that you are fighting against, the clock. Let's look at this. And there are so many parts of it where I'm like, man, this could have been more explored if instead of just doing all this stupid fucking figure skating, we actually went into the backstory of these characters and learned like, oh, what do they like? What do they don't like? What's their past? What's their present like? What are they doing, right? All of this stuff could be so interesting, and it never really is explored in any meaningful detail. Especially, I think, and this is the most prevalent with Yuri's rival. Yuri. I'm calling him Yurio because the show calls him Yurio. It's his nickname. So there's Yuri and there's Yurio. And Yurio is the Russian guy. And he's 15. He's super young. And he's also connected to Victor because Victor is Russian and Yurio is Russian. And Yurio is like also, Victor's biggest fan. He loves Victor because he's like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to beat you one day. I'm going to become the next Victor, right? Because of Russian pride or whatever, right? And so when he sees this other Yuri, getting all this attention, getting Victor is being his coach. And so he creates this resentment. Like, I'm so fucking mad. And I'm going to use that as motivation. I'm going to use this resentment I feel that I'm going to beat you. And that just, it gets explored, but then the ending just totally, doesn't resolve that at all. Okay, spoiler alert, Yurio won the whole thing. He won the entire thing. Yuri got second. Yurio won, Yuri got second. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's an interesting choice for the ending, but you have a character that went the entire season that said, I'm the fucking best, I'm gonna be the best, I'm gonna beat your ass, you're a fucking fraud, which is exactly what he was like the entire show. You're a fucking fraud. And then he wins, and he's like, okay, you said you were gonna be the best, and you acted like kind of a prick, and then you were just the best and you won. And it's like, okay, can we get maybe some self-reflection of maybe these two become friendly rivals or something, or they kind of get over their differences and can we get some kind of resolution here? And there's just nothing. It's just, the two are treated as if they never fucking talk again, which is frustrating. And then the whole ending is just like they do this whole ending thing where it's Yuri, the Japanese Yuri, was planning on retiring. This is my last season. I got second. I gave it all I got. I gave it all I got, Victor, but this is my last season. And Victor's like, okay, but I'm going to come back. I did my coaching thing, but I'm going to come back to figure skating because I want to be the best again. I've been inspired. And then Yuri's like, well, I'm going to come back too. And it's like, what? Can't we just fucking go off into the sunset with this hoe? Why do we have to do this whole I'm retiring, I'm unretiring, I'm retiring, I'm unretiring? It's not particularly compelling. And the ending was just not given time to breathe. The ending was maybe 5 minutes, and then it's yep, you're done. Goodbye now. Okay, buddy, that's all. That's all I get. I sit through your entire fucking anime, and this is all you give me. So yeah. Ultimately, though, I think those are all kind of small potatoes compared to the overall good that was watching this anime. It's very enjoyable. I think the characters are pretty well made. If you like men pretending to be in a relationship but never outright saying it, then boy oh boy do I have a good anime for you. And if you are a fan of figure skating, well, I have an anime for you. So yeah, that's my entire rant. That's my thing. Yuri on Ice. Enjoyable, flawed, but overall, much better than the other shit that I've watched as of late. I think you might like your lie in May. What? In April? I think you might like your lie in April. Can you explain what the fuck you are talking about?
Let's go.
Oh, I see. I'm down to watch another anime. If it's gonna be love focused, then I'd like it to be kind of more explicitly love, I don't really care if it's gay or if it's straight or if it's whatever. I just if we're gonna do love, I'm fine with doing some of the like the slow burn romance, but at the end of the like I need to see some dudes kissing or some focal kissing. I need to see this. I need to see some focal kissing because I cannot do this like pretend to be in a romantic relationship, but we're not doing a romantic relationship. I don't like that shit. It's not love, but I like it. If it's good. I think I want to stay away from like the never-ending shonen slop, and I kind of want to stick towards more like the more contained, you know. If it's got an ending, I want to watch it. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, if it ends, I'll give it a chance. I want to take a break before I throw myself down into one of the other gauntlets of like, I don't know, like My Hero Academia or something. I don't know. People say that's a very Israeli anime, but I don't know. It's popular. JoJo. I hear a lot of shit talked about JoJo. I hear a lot of glaze for like one season of JoJo in particular, but it's like season 6 or something, and it's like, if I'm gonna have to wait 5 seasons to reach the widely agreed upon peak, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to sit through how many seasons of slop before I reach peak, you know? I could be, now, you know, the people online could be lying, as they often do, but it's just discourse, I see. Well, JoJo feels like one of those never-ending animes. I know the concept of JoJo. It's like, yeah, it's like a different person, different main character, bloodline continues, something like that. I get that. I totally understand. Falling out of love with piano. Has the guy who fell out of love with piano ever considered playing like video game music, you know? Like the ones you see on like the you know, like the piano music visualize, you know, like the piano music visualizers. Why doesn't he just play that shit? That's what I always thought. It's like, man, I feel like I feel like if I was a kid and they showed me that, I feel like I'd be super into piano. I'd be like there practicing, trying to play my video game music. I feel like that would be sick, no? No? I mean, like it feels like, you know, they're so caught up on that, like, you know, that classical shit. Like, I don't want to play no Mozart. I don't give a fuck about no Mozart. I want to play the goddamn Undertale theme song or whatever, you know? I feel like as a child, that would get me into the musical instrument. But I don't know. I don't know if he has that technology yet. Does he have TikTok? Tell the guy who's falling out of love for piano. Does he have TikTok? I think it might help. I had something else I wanted to talk about. It was pre-TikTok for sure. Yeah. To be fair, most of my life was pre-TikTok, so. I had a thing. I'm so trying to remember my thing. I'm racking my brain to remember the thing I had to talk about, and it's just not coming up. Oh, there was, I wanted to talk a little bit about how much I hate Kyle Shanahan. I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, sports. I wanted to talk about, there was, you know, some of ye old political discourse came across my feed again, as it tends to do, because God forbid we keep arguing, you know, we keep fucking beleaguering the same points again. When, I mean, we've already had a kind of an extensive argument about this particular topic. It was a trans sports debate again that came across my feed, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to have to relitigate this on stream. I feel like we've already done kind of like the trans women in sports, you know, debate. I feel like this is just not a very particularly interesting topic for me. to relitigate, even though apparently people are talking about it again for whatever the fuck reason. I don't know. Some people are just like, yeah, we got to talk about it again. Because it is evergreen, you know. What's that political cartoon of like Obama pulling up to the cow that's super thin? Sex advantage, by the way. I don't know if we agree on if the science says that, by the way, Roses, but I am not going to look it up. I did look it up, actually. The last time we had this debate, I looked it up. I looked at the big study, the kind of the overall look study. And it said for a couple of very specific exercises, there seemed to be no significant difference in a very small sample size, which is just not at all conclusive evidence on this topic. I can grab a paper. I'm not interested, respectfully. Maybe if there's a new meta-analysis, but all the meta-analyses that I've looked at have been basically saying, hey, it's a small sample size, tests are inconclusive, we can't really be sure. It's hard to tell. And it is hard to tell. I mean, like, you're trying to equivocate a sport, like, performance across, like, gender when we not only, don't fully understand the differences between both physically, and also, like, sports are, like, complicated as shit, you know? Sports are complicated. There's a lot that goes into being good at even like a very easy sport like running. Like, there's a lot of mechanics that go into being good at running, you know? So it's hard to say. And I'm not going to be the guy who says it. And I'm not going to be the guy who makes that debate right now, because it just feels like, again, it feels like as long as we all agree on, like, the fundamentals, which is, like, trans men are men, trans women are women, as long as we can agree on the basics, that's kind of what I'm really concerned about. If we can get to kind of, like, the sauce a little bit later, I think that's all good and dandy, but I would love if we could just get to that kind of... If we could all get to that resting point, and then we can have, like, this conversation without me, like, side-eyeing every single person that says, well, obviously, I definitely agree, trans people have no place in sports. And it's like, oh, man, I want to believe that you're a good faith actor in this debate, but man, oh man, it's so easy for the fucking anti-trans people to make you guys look like fucking chuds, even though you're not chuds. And I look like a chud. I fully admit that, you know. Talking about this. So what, just ban them from sports? Pretty much. That would be the solution, no? Support trans people banning from sports until more studies are done. I mean, that's what we were doing for a while, and then it's been a little bit up in the air. Again, I'm not going to speak on any policy prescriptions until I feel like I'm more confident on this particular topic, which I am not. Obviously, I don't have, like, an emotional stake in this topic, so I'm allowed to kind of speak on it with a little bit more impunity on this shit, and I fully admit that, so I try to, like, modulate my language a little bit more, because I know that, like, my emotional stake in this conversation is very minimal compared to probably somebody like you, Rose, who probably has a much more intense emotional stake, so I'm not gonna, like... I don't want to speak with, 100% confidence on any particular opinion. Imagine I hit level 6 for once in my fucking life. Sorry. But yeah, that's kind of it. What else did I want to talk about? I had another thing. I wanted to switch back to my other thing. It was the political stuff. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I said I had like 3 things. I am off the top of my head. Probably my question? No, because it's going to further the conversation that I just don't want to have right now. Okay? I'm trying to remember the other thing that I had. Oh man, I don't know. I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I'm broke. My mind is broken. It's done. I've given up on thinking anymore. God damn it. Oh, you know what? Here's a tiny thing that I could use to switch the topic. I finally found the fucking hip abductor machines in my gym, thank God. Oh my god, dude, I thought that there were no hip abductor machines in my gym, and I was so mad. I hit level 6 and I forgot to play level 7. I finally found the goddamn hip abductor machines. They're in the cardio room. Why the f are the hip abductor machines in the cardio room? I was looking inside the cardio room and like, are those hip abductors? They are. I'm like, I need hip abductors. How am I gonna, accentuate my beautiful fat ass without hip abduction? And the answer is, you don't. Dude, I was doing fucking sumo squats and shit. Like, sumo squats? Who the fuck's out here doing sumo squats on a Thursday? So yes, we finally discovered the hip abductors, and I have like a full leg day routine, which is nice. I have a full leg day, which is great. I have I have 3 workout days, basically, and I can talk about, like, I have 3 lifting days. And I have 2 cardio days, because after stream, I don't want to go all the way to the gym, and because my gym is closed by the time I end stream. My gym closes at 7 p.m., which is super fucking early for a gym to close. I don't know why they close at that time. I think that's insane. 7? But either, like, it's neither here nor there, right? I have 3 lifting days. And I've decided to do, like, a upper body day, a lower body day, and then I have, like, a back and core day, is what I call it. Like, a combined back and core day. Which, some of you might be saying, man, that's a lot of focus to put on your back. I don't think so. I think having a strong back is, like... I forgot to play level 7 again. Shit. I really have to stop doing that. I was too focused on talking about my workout. But, yeah. I have a back and core day, and it's great. And so I did my upper body day, and it's been going good so far. I'm probably gonna run into more issues with it as I go along, or like more things that can like help improve. But I think I have a really good set of exercises, and I think that's like the main thing. I have a good suite of exercises for the time being. And then we can keep rolling with those exercises until either A, I get bored, or B, I should probably change these up. Because you should probably change up the exercises you're doing after a while. So I have all that. And then ideally, I can become, even hotter and smokier and full of husky, muscles and shit. Now, the only reason if you guys want me to become visibly jacked, then A, I start taking creatine, and B, I start going on a calorie deficit. Or I just take Tren. I mean, I could just take fucking testosterone or something. Just take performance enhancers, because those make you jacked as shit. I hate every single gym influencer. It just pisses me off. Because every single one of them is on fucking drugs, dude. It's just... it's like, I understand that as a fitness influencer, like, your body is your marketing tool. You have to look strong in order to get other people to be convinced that you are indeed, selling, a good product. And I understand that. But it's so frustrating when, like, the person who is selling you the workout routine is so very clearly on trend. And so they are, you know, by proxy, not by proxy, they are supporting this. Like, if you want to look like me, guess what you've got to do? You've got to use performance enhancers. You've got to use chemicals. And I think for women, because, like, when I'm looking up leg day routines, guess what pops up? Women with fat asses. Not, you know, not a knock on them. Totally understand it. But it's like, it feels like so many of them, it's like, your ass is, like, crazy fat. And it's like, half of that is, like, probably genetics. And the other half is maybe or maybe not, like, surgery, right? And so it sucks that, like, we are selling this idea of, like, what you can look like, when in reality, it's like, you're not gonna get there with working out and just eating healthy, you know? You are not Hulk Hogan. Eating your fucking greens is not gonna, like, get you to the next level of working out, right? What gets you to the next level of working out is drugs and performance enhancers. That's the only way it works. I'm sorry, brother. If you're taking advice from people who look like they're bodybuilders, take a fucking hint. Bro thinks women can't grow ass. No, they can grow ass. I never said that, but, like, what? The fuck did I ever say that? Is this like the I like bananas so bro hates apples type thing that I'm looking at right now? You said drugs or implants? Yeah, when their ass is that fat compared to my measly fucking ass, it's like, I'm sorry. You can keep on saying, like, leg day, leg day, leg day. That's great. But your ass is not going to grow to become like that. That is genetics. No, I'm talking about people in general. It's like, why am I being misinterpreted? Like, when I say that when people look, I'm saying that people are setting unrealistic expectations for the normal average Joe. That's what I am saying. When people post workout content, people are setting unrealistic expectations. That's all I was saying. That's the ultimate thing I was trying to get at. People set unrealistic expectations because they are probably not being honest with what they do to gain these incredible physiques that they have. Which I think is not a crazy uncontroversial point. I don't know how you can misinterpret that. Roses, I don't get it. What am I going wrong? Okay, you're just rage baiting. You're rage baiting me. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Never mind. I can't have this anymore. I can't do this, Roses. Please. Why? Why are you doubling down? Dude, come on. Why are you doing this to me, man? I want to have interesting, like, conversations with you. I think you're an interesting dude. But this is fucking ridiculous. Interesting dude? I know, that's right. I used dude. I didn't want to say you're an interesting girl, because that sounds, like, weird and creepy. You're an interesting woman. That also sounds weird and creepy. I don't know. Dude is, like, more not personal. Say gal. Gal is probably a good one. It didn't come to mind. Dude was the first, like, non-personal thing I used, so. But I feel like everybody calls each other dude, you know? I've called many a woman dude in my time. That thing in the back of the mind. I get it. I understand. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't doubt it, and I do apologize for that. God damn it. Speaking of apologies, Apparently there's been more like Minecraft community drama, although I'm gonna have to report back to you on this one because it feels like this one I have not been able to look into that deeply, and there doesn't seem to be that much outrage about it, so maybe it's not that deep. I don't know. I think that I have been kind of integrating I don't want to say integrating myself. I've been like starting to. There feels like there's like this. I feels like there's been a I don't want to say coalition. There's been like a coagulation, I guess. Coagulation of like certain parts of the Minecraft community all kind of coming together into like a thing where you've got. It feels like it's very much this like SMP / PvP centric thing that is like this kind of block in the Minecraft community, because I felt like for a while there was like people who played on SMPs and then there were people who were really good at PvP, and it felt like for a while there was that separation where it's like the really tryhard PvPers kind of stayed away from everybody. But now it feels like so many of these top PvPers, like the Coldifies, the Swites, the Floativs, all these people have started to become like, now they are content creators, and now they're very big content creators. They play a lot of these big SMPs, Lifesteal shit, or what's another SMP I can think of? Lifesteal, Strength SMP maybe? Unstable's not really a thing, so I don't know where to contact that or where to put that into this chain. But it feels like all of that is happening right now. And it's very interesting, I think, to watch all of these kind of different people come together, where it's like you have people who are not really PvP guys starting to become PvP guys just by the nature of where it feels like Desire is going in terms of the viewership audience. People are liking this longer form PvP stuff where you'll just have like these long fights that last 20 minutes, and they're just like these drain fights where people are just trying to drain resources, and they just go on for fucking 10 minutes, 20 minutes in a row, and people are just like really into that. That to me is like kind of crazy. At least to me, I think that a lot of like the money SMP stuff, I think is insane. That like the kit that they run, I think is insane, but it has become kind of the new meta in terms of like content. People like this longer, 1.9 PvP style. And I never really thought it would catch on like that, but it has caught on like wildfire. I guess even past when I stopped playing Hypixel and I started to get more into like UHC stuff. Even like what's it called? What's the server I'm thinking of? The server I used to play a lot. The UHC, like the Speed Silver UHC server, whatever the fuck it's called. Back when I used to play that a lot, like even that was not nearly as like long and drain heavy type fighting as it feels like some of the modern PvP styles are. It feels like it's gotten longer and drainier. Especially, it feels like shields have become like, people don't like shields. Shields have become very anti-fun PvP for a lot of people. People don't like shields. And I think that's super interesting. I think the dissolution of shields in 1.9 PvP is just this very... It's an interesting thing for me, at least. I think what makes PvP interesting is that it can be bursty. And I think that a good PvP kit for me is something that it can be long and it can be drainy, but it's got burst elements in it, Something like, I guess, Cart PvP or Crystal PvP or like Mace PvP. Stuff where, obviously it might just be a longer, more pronounced contest, but there's also aspects where, like, if you're just good, you can just drop somebody really quick. I think, I remember thinking about this when I was watching VODs from the PvP Championship. Tubbo held a thing. Tubbo's always doing some shit like this. Tubbo held like a little competition way back when called the PvP Championship, where it's just like some of the best PvPers duking it out for like a big old prize pool with like good production and stuff. I've talked a little bit about it. But I think what really interested me is that so many of these fights did last a while, but it always felt like there was tension, right? It's like these people are going at it, but there's like, you can't really miss a moment. It's kind of like a soccer match in that way, where it's like nothing's really happening for the most part, but stuff is really close to happening so much of the time. And I think that is really interesting to me. Feels like my music is loud. And it feels like there are some kits inside of like the Minecraft PvP space that have gotten popular that just don't have that bursty element to it. And I think that's insane. Me personally, I think that is insane. In other news, Wifey's dropped a new video, and I'm not going to watch it, or I might just watch it at work, but oh man. I don't know if I want to watch another Wifey's video. After his last foray into the ARG genre, it's like, brother. Apparently Spood was in it. That's like Spood's, like, that's been Spood's thing as of late. He was in the fucking Wifey's video. Which is pretty cool. Shout out to him. That Spood has become this kind of character inside of the Minecraft space. Same thing with like Saps. These ish state people have become these kind of pronounced or longer term characters inside the space. And I think that's really cool. I like that a lot for them. I've thought about what I last said, and it felt like it came out with jealousy in it. It felt like there were undertones of jealousy to the way I said it, and I think that that definitely exists. I think it's hard to separate that. I've had some thoughts about that. Undertones of jealousy, where it's like, I want to be there. That's what I want to be. I want to get those opportunities. Me. But I think that you can exist. I think it is possible to exist in both realities at the same time, you know? Why don't you try? Because I think I would have to, like... I'd have to give up streaming for, like, a decent chunk of time, I think, to really push forward a lot of my plans that I have. It feels like I'm also trying to be, like... I'm trying to simultaneously be everything I want to be at the same time, and it feels like there is never enough time for me to be everything I want to be at the same time, you know? That's what I've been feeling more and more. With work, with life. It feels like I just don't have the time to be everything I want to be. I want to be the epic, real-life guy that has friends, and has a girlfriend, and hangs out with people after work, and simultaneously I want to make cool, innovative art pieces and really fun videos that are just like really high production and really well made. And I also want to be the fun, quirky streamer dude that can have like quirky conversations and just talk to people and have a chat and stuff. I want to be all of that at the same time, and I can't. And that's partially because I have, you know, my work ethic is... I wish I had a better work ethic, because, man, if I could abuse all the time that I had in the day, I'd be a fucking monster. But I just can't be everything that I want to be at the same time. It's partially, I think, the reason why I have such a distaste for work as a thing. I hate work. I hate job. I've always had this deep yearning to just quit my job, to leave for like a fucking year and just do some bullshit. Just take a year off, and it's like, it's such a stupid thing to do. Like, why would I ever do something dumb like that? Take a year off work? What am I, a fucking like what am I, trying to find some spiritual fucking awakening? That's some dumb shit, dude. Come on. For as much as I am like a conflicted person who wants to be a beautiful artist, I am also a very pragmatical man. I'm a pragmatist, and it is not pragmatic to just take a year off work without any concrete way of just making some dollary dues. What's wrong with the spiritual awakening? That's fine. I think spiritual awakening is not bad or good. I'm just saying taking a year off work to do so, I think, is crazy. Especially in today's economy, especially in today's job market, when all this money that I think I have could be fucking gone by tomorrow. With the economy the way that it is just not worth it to, like, potentially, like, try to do some crazy shit, fail, there's a disconnect between wage labor and the soul. I'm not disagreeing. I fucking hate work. But it's also, you know, there's also an economic reality of the situation that in order to exist in the system, I must interact with the system. Try justify doing it. If I take a year off work, then I will have all the time I want to indulge in so many of the artistic ventures that I have been dreaming of doing. I will have time to make this piece, this film that I want to make. I could start a second channel where I do like Let's Plays. I could do another second channel. I want to call it the PvP Observer, where I start my own channel where I'm able to commentate over Minecraft PvP and hopefully create a channel where people can where I can showcase, you know, up-and-coming PvPers and really have like a positive impact on what I perceive to be a pretty toxic and negative community, and hopefully turn that into like an institution of what the PvP community could be. I could spend more time working on, I guess, blocky hockey stuff. I could justify spending my time on that when it feels harder and harder every time that I say, oh, I could cast another match for blocky hockey. I could take that time to cast for blocky hockey. I could do all of this. I could do all of this while not sacrificing stream and Sheepo3 being on stream and being this person with a webcam and a face with an audience. I could keep doing all of this while keeping this. I can do all of that while keeping this. That's the justification. Now, the counter justification is that you're fucking insane. Unfortunately. And it's just true. It's just true. We live in a... Why is that insane? Because I am not in a space where I feel financially secure with being able to take a fucking year off of work. I am not in a financial secure enough position to make that decision and feel confident that I am able to re-enter the job market when if I need to, and be able to succeed in that venture and be able to... If you go homeless, what happens? I'm not able to stream anymore if I'm homeless, dude. If I'm homeless, everything goes away. Being homeless is antithetical to what I want to be. Streaming is gone. My life is gone. Everything that I find joy and happiness is gone if I am homeless. Would you not move into your parents? No. The fuck would I do that for? First of all, I'm not even sure my parents would let me do that. And B, that would be a consequential failing of my entire personhood if I had to move back into my parents for not for like, oh no, you know you got fucked over in some tragic accident, you know, it wasn't your fault. If I had to move back into my parents and it was my fault, I would never forgive myself. That would be suicide worthy shit, and I'm not kidding. In my head, a failing of that level entirely that is entirely my fault is suicide level shit. I would never do that. What's wrong with you? That's not normal. I don't know. I maybe I'm crazy here, but I am, maybe to a fault, I am fiercely independent. I've been fiercely independent for a while. I've talked about this. I do not want somebody to... Do you have a therapist? No. I don't need a therapist. I'm fine. Or to be fair, if I'm going to be more generous, I should say everybody should probably have a therapist. But also, there is a limited supply of therapized, and it's also pricey as hell. So I am not going to take up the mental load of some therapist that really doesn't need... There are probably other people that need therapists more than me, and the supply just does not meet the demand. If we say everybody needs a therapist, then damn, we're going to need a lot more therapists. Do an online one from another country? I'm okay. I don't want to do that. That feels like a distinctly not productive use of my time. I would rather spend that time doing something else than going to therapy. IMO. I feel like I am more than stable. Mr. I refuse to follow my dreams. My dream was to be stable. Believe it or not, I followed my dreams and I fucking accomplished my dreams. And now I am complaining about my new dreams. You understand? I had dreams. My dream was to become stable financially. That I could wake up knowing that I pay for all of my own shit. I'm relying on nobody. I live on myself. Nothing else. And I accomplished that dream. When I got this new job, I accomplished my dream. Now everything else that I just described is my new dream. Fulfilling in its entirety? Of course it's not. But that's like, I don't know, that's the point of dreams in my mind, you know? You have a dream, and then you accomplish your dream. You reach your goal, and then you have a new dream. You have a new goal. You have a new, something new to push for. I want to build on top of my dreams. I don't want my dreams to be one-time things. I don't want me to have one dream and then I throw all that entire dream out just for the sake of another dream that I've had. That's called being flaky, and I'm not flaky. I will build on top of my dreams. I want to be financially stable, and I want to be a great artist, and I want to be a fucking great streamer. I want to do all of that at the same time. I will not give up my financial stability because I don't know if I could take the phone calls with my mom anymore. I'm not gonna lie. If I quit my job and I told my mom, yeah, I'm gonna go on a fucking artistic retreat to find myself, I don't think I could have a phone call with my mom for that entire year. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I could speak to my mother. And that's not a diss on her, by the way. I'm not dissing my mother. Do not get it twisted. I am not dissing my mother. Being financially stable or being a great artist to you? Being financially stable, I think. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know which one is more important. That's like a deeper conversation that I have to have with myself. Ultimately, I think what makes me more angry is not the fact that there is maybe one or the other that is more significant to me. The more important thing is that why I want to have both, and that is the true thing that pisses me off. Why can't I be both at the same time? Why can't I be both? And then that gets into a conversation about, like the way we do, our economic system and the way we have politics and the concept of an 8-hour workday and like all that stuff, which is like, that's great and dandy, but also that's not changing in my lifetime. So, Orange, what's up? You know what I should check? Oh, they did the draft? Have they not done the draft for when are they hosting this damn tournament? When are they doing this damn draft? Also, when are they doing media? I hope they set up media at some point. I'd like to know. EST. Noise. Should be fun. I think I've decided that this is going to be my last major tournament where I actually put effort into media. I think I've decided that there are just other stuff that I want to pursue. And I think that trying to do blocky hockey media just gets in the way of all of that. So I'm just going to respectfully just stop interacting with media. I've kind of accomplished all I really need to accomplish with the blocky hockey community, if I'm being honest. I don't have anything else to do. I've won blocky hockey, Not just I won a cup, bro. I won... Dude, I was the GOAT media for a hot minute, okay? And I was the GOAT article writer. And I was the GOAT commentator. And I was the GOAT... I was great at everything. I did everything I needed to do. 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 I So now I can kind of like walk into the sunset knowing that I am the GOAT of me. Is he him? I mean, in terms of like when it comes to blocky hockey, I feel like I'm pretty close to him. In terms of my own personal ambitions with this whole blocky hockey thing, which turned out to be much bigger than I ever expected it to be. I mean, I've been here for like 1 year and I've already like gained this level of notoriety within the community. I feel like that's a pretty successful tenure, I'd say, you know? I mean, I have people like you coming into my stream to talk to me. I feel like it's a pretty successful thing. We'll see though. Maybe I'll find the passion to do commentating and casting again. Who knows? But yeah. I do the thing I do with all small communities. I went into the small community, I made a bunch of new friends, and I met a bunch of new cool people, and I did some cool stuff. And then I walk into the sunset, and I do the, I vampirize the next small community I find, It's what I do. And I think the fun part about this community is that it feels like this one will continue to persist without me. I can come back to it at like another time and still find it intact and functional. When it feels like so many of the other small communities I got to be a part of for that small sliver of time are just not going to be there, I look back on like the Voxium community or the Deadshot community. Those are dead. They're dead and gone. I look back on the party games community. That's dead. The party games community is dead and gone. It's not coming back. And so I get to think of all the good times, but I don't ever get to relive them. With blocky hockey, it feels like, if I ever feel like reliving those memories, there she blows. I've been doing that a lot this stream. Can I actually make it past level 7, even if it's on a chud run? Man, it's such a shit 7 too. I don't even hit it. Oh my goodness. It was a shit 7 and I miss it. Ay, ay, ay. I watched the Spider-Man movie yesterday. I've been hearing good things about this Spider-Man movie, but I've heard good things about like all the new age Spider-Man movies with Thomathan, with Thomathan Holland, with Thomas Holland and his whole gang. I've heard it. I've watched. I feel that it was very slow. It's kind of weird. Marvel's in a weird spot with their movies. I don't know. I think that Marvel just needs to stop making movies. Or they need like a real reboot with the way that they do movies. Because the current Marvel formula is bland and dead. And it feels like Spider-Man is like the last gasp of like what people will, suffer from Marvel, Acting was amazing. I don't doubt that. I've always liked the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I thought he was always a good Spider-Man. Despite, you know, whatever they gave him, I thought he was always a good Spider-Man. I'm not a Marvel fan, though. I think, again, like, most of the Marvel, like... Most of the Marvel thing is just... It's over, you know? Ever since Endgame. Hold on. I had to slow down, but I still get a nice time. Nope. 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 I forgot how to do level 8, by the way. I'm not gonna hit it. The car's fucked. Oh, the car's fucked! What the fuck is the car doing? Damn it. Ah! I forgot how to do level 8, damn it. I finally got it past level 7, though, thank God. We finally got past level 7 on pace. It happened. Oh! Papateto with the tier 1 sub. 2 months. Thank you. I appreciate this, big man. Your generosity will not be forgotten. And it will not be forgiven. Because there's nothing to forgive. No, but what I was trying to say about Marvel movies is that I think Marvel needs to totally redo their movie structure. They need to have like a Batman: The Dark Knight Rises or something, because the current Marvel formula does not work. It is played out. It is boring. The new heroes aren't convincing. The only thing that people are holding on to is Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is always like evergreen, you know? But nobody wants to watch the fucking Falcon movie. Nobody wants to watch another Black Widow movie, because that was a fucking disaster. Every single post-Endgame Marvel movie that I've watched has been mid or bad. And it doesn't even, like, even in the Marvel movies pre-Endgame that were mid, at least they had that tie-in to, like, this overarching story of all the Marvel movies of, like, we're approaching the Endgame. They had that overarching storyline to them, and I appreciated that. Even the mid ones. And now, there's just nothing there. There's nothing holding this, you know, this whole midster piece together, you know, midster piece. You see what I did there? There's nothing holding this midster piece together, and now it's just a bunch of, like, independently mid to bad films that are just not, I don't know, that are at worst, and the worst thing I could say is that they're played out, is that the formula's played out. And I like Tom Holland, and I like the Spider-Man cast, but no amount of Tom Holland is going to convince me to go see this new fucking Spider-Man movie. It's just not. I don't care. I have no interest in this modern-day Spider-Man anymore. And I have no interest in any Marvel movie or any Marvel property going forward until they do something. They need to do like a Marvel Zombies thing, you know? I don't know if you guys read those comics, but back when they turned everybody into a zombie that was trying to eat the world, like, damn. They need to do some crazy shit like that. They need to do a 90-degree turn if they want to get people back into the Marvel product. The movie was also hella confusing. Oh, for sure. But all I know is that I see the one scene of fucking Tom Holland with a 3-monitor setup, and it's like, man, modern day Spider-Man is not working class anymore, bro. This is not the working class Spider-Man we once knew and loved. This is a Nepo Spider-Man, bro. They turned Spider-Man into a Nepo baby. And honestly, that's actually fucking canon too. They turned Spider-Man into a Nepo baby. Ain't that crazy? No, you can spoil it as much as you want. For me, at least. I don't know if anybody watching in chat is, you know, concerned about getting spoiled for Spider-Man, then step out now, but I do not care. No spoils, please. Rose, you might want to take a hike for 10 minutes. I want to hear the Orange Overlord opinion factory. Because there's nothing worse than watching a piece of media and then not having somebody to share your opinion with. That's why I have stream here. So that whenever I watch like an anime, I can share my opinion. I didn't understand the fact that Spider-Man was like turning into an arachnid. That was a plot point? Was it like the spider virus thing was like mutating and turning him into like a fucking spider or something? I thought the whole plot point was that everybody hated him now. Or was that like another movie? I thought everybody hated Spider-Man. That was like the whole thing. It's like everybody hates Spider-Man now. No? Was that another plot point? Maybe I'm crazy. I should look up the plot. It's like Spider-Man Homecoming or something? Oh, so yeah, that was another. Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's the one. That was another plot point. Sorry, I forgot. I haven't watched a lot of Spider-Mans as of late. Wiki. Let's look at the plot. We're looking up the plot. Following Dr. Stephen Strange's spell, the world has forgotten that Peter Parker exists. Oh, there we go. Anonymously protecting Spider-Man, distances himself from ex-girlfriend. Oh yeah, so he doesn't have a girlfriend anymore, and his best friend intervenes. There's a telepath. They don't recognize him. He's got organic webs now. That's pretty sick. We love that. Tracks down Gargan, who's now possessed by a telepath. So there's some telepath dude that's like fucking with everything. No, this feels pretty good right now. I feel like everything kind of makes sense in my mind. He talks to Bruce Banner. Controls new mutations. I see. Limit his powers. Oh no. So now he knows who Spider-Man is. Interesting. Jean Grey, what? Jean Grey was the what? What? I don't know how much you know about like Marvel Comics, but that's crazy. What? Are they making a new X-Men? Jean Grey is a very important character to like the X-Men universe, to the mutant universe. If you watch the old X-Men movies or read the old X-Men comics, you'd have ball knowledge. Okay, this whole thing with the DODC thing. The telepaths are kind of getting a little... Okay, now it's starting to get a bit confusing. Jean enter his mind? What? So it was like a self-hate thing? I thought he was turning into a spider, but apparently it's just like the adaptations weren't that bad. It was pretty good. Offers Jean understanding over her loss and shields her from Castle. Tries to shoot her from the outside, sustaining it. Oh, okay. What? Okay, I'm not. Yeah, okay. It's a bit weird. Damn. Jean Grey? Adding Jean was not chosen because she was part of the X-Men in the comics. I think that's insane. You're gonna include Jean Grey, who is like one of the central plot drivers for the entire X-Men universe, and you're just gonna throw her into a fucking Spider-Man movie, dude? Really? Really? This is the beef I had with like or this part of the beef that I had with the fucking with the Black Widow movie. Because in the Black Widow movie, the main bad like the big baddie of the Black Widow movie was this guy called Taskmaster. And if you've read any of the comics, Taskmaster is a really cool villain. And they fucking butcher him in the Black Widow movie. They turn him into a chud, dude. Taskmaster is so cool, and they make him so lame. And Jean Grey being turned into like a fucking Spider-Man side character, dude? How are they not turning that into, how are we not doing X-Men tie-in? If there's one movie to remake, if there's one movie franchise to redo in like this new Marvel style, it would be the fucking X-Men, dude. The X-Men. X-Men are cool. I love the X-Men. Cyclops, Nightcrawler, the Beast, Jean Grey, Iceman, the original 5 X-Men. I get the concept of the film, like she's the baddie, she's not. I get the entire concept of the thing, but it's just like. Jean Grey? That feels like such a chud addition. I like the Punisher. The Punishers are great. Like, that's a nice, classy Spider-Man-esque villain, but Jean Grey? Ah! Why are we doing this? Jean fucking Grey. Well, Jean Grey's always had a complicated relationship with good and evil. Like, that's kind of been her, like in the comics, like, she's always had a complex relationship with, like, because, like, she has always been, like, this insanely powerful person that can't, like, fully tap into her own strength, because if she does, she'll fucking destroy the universe. Like, there's always been this complicated relationship with what Jean Grey is in relation to evil and good and power and not power, like, all this stuff. But to turn her into a Spider-Man chud? Man, I don't like that. Okay, that's all I got, though. Alright. From a plot summary, I don't think I'd like the film. From a U summary, it feels like the film was kind of meh. But if you liked it, then fuck it, man. We ball. As long as you're enjoying what you're watching, you know, who am I to judge? I didn't watch the thing. I'm LARPing. MJ, you missed the entire Yuri on Ice review, by the way. Thoughts on Logan? Didn't watch it. I read the comics, though. The best Marvel movie? Well, I mean, the comics were really good. Or at least I quite enjoyed I don't know if they were called Logan or Old Man Wolverine. But I think Wolverine is one of those really, like, Wolverine is like their Batman-esque character. Old Man Logan, yeah, that's the one. Those comics are good. They're very gory, but I think that they're very good. Maybe I should watch the movie then. I had this conversation with Orange, but I feel like Marvel needs to do like a whole, like, you know, 180 in terms of how they make movies. They need to do something new, because the current Marvel, like the classical Marvel style of making movies just doesn't work anymore. People don't want that shit, and I don't want that shit. I'm not saying it needs to be gritty and dark, although it does feel like that is the place you would go if you want to do a 180 from their current style. There just needs to be something else. It feels like there are so many good Marvel comics to draw inspiration from, you know? They need to do some of that alternate universe stuff, you know? Like what are some of the alternate universe Marvel stuff? Like, what's the one where Tony Stark, like, makes the app that makes everybody beautiful? Turn that into a movie. Where's the one, like, the one I was talking about where, like, where half the characters become, like, zombies and try to eat the world? They should do that. They turn that into a movie. Feels like there's so many places you can go inside the Marvel universe with all their alternate universes. Just to say fuck it. Stop trying to turn it. Well, who cares about continuity? Stop, like, don't even make it a continuity. Just say, like, stop, like, don't make it a continuity. Don't do continuity. Fuck continuity. I think that they should just ditch the entire, they should ditch continuity entirely. I think it's stupid. I think ever since Endgame, they should have ditched continuity. 100%. The continuity stuff is dead. People don't want that shit anymore. Daily Dose of Orange. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, though, Orange. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for talking with me. Kevin Feige. Oh, who fucking cares, dude? Throw him out. Forget about him. and some young talent. That's what I've been saying. Oh yeah, you totally missed the entire Yuri on Ice review. That was the early stream topic that we had. I did the whole Yuri on Ice review. If you want the kind of the quick plot summary, I liked it. I thought I enjoyed it. I enjoy having animes that have a end. I like animes that end. I'm kind of tired of animes that continue on in kind of perpetuality. The Narutos and the Solo Levelings and the One Pieces and all that shit. I'm tired of that. I like having an anime that ends. I like the character development. I thought the characters were fun. I thought that the side characters weren't really as well thought out as I liked. I'm disappointed that there was no Yuri inside of Yuri on Ice. But I thought like the main story was pretty good, and I think that the story could have been 10 times better if they actually let their characters start macking it instead of trying to like dance around the entire yaoi stuff, because I assume, you know, the people who were overlooking the anime or like laws or whatever, like they weren't allowed to be gay. And I would just wish that they would just let the characters be gay, because it felt like it would have made the like everything hit so much harder if the characters were just allowed to be gay. If we could have that, you know, that romantic tension, or at least play into that romantic tension way more than like skirting around it and pretending like, oh, it's there, but we can't actually show it. That makes me mad. So overall, good. I liked it a lot. It's a slow burn. It's not a slow burn. There is no burn. The concept of a slow burn is that at the end there is some kind of a burn. They didn't kiss a single time. That is the ultimate end goal. Dude, they gave each other rings. Like, are we fucking kidding me? Can't we just let them kiss? I get it. People hate gay people. They're scared. They're scared of the gay people. The gay people are terrifying. They're like the fucking boogeyman in the dark. But god fucking damn it. I'm not freaky. I just want them to fucking kiss. If they're gonna do the romantic thing, then kiss. That's what you do at the end of the romance movie. You kiss. I've watched plenty of romance movies, and what do you do at the end of the romance movie? You kiss. That's what you do. You don't give each other rings. You kiss each other. Kiss, goddammit. Dude, they even had a scene where they alluded to them kissing. They had a scene where they was like, oh, the lips are about to touch, but then they just hugged each other. It's like, oh my fucking god, bro. They literally, I swear to God, they did half of that shit just because, you know, again, like, people hate gay people. But it's like, man, just let them kiss. Fuck my life. Just let them kiss. If we're gonna do all this illusion, just let them kiss. But yeah. It did remind me of my father, though. I think that was the one fun tie-in I had to the movie. I've talked about this a little bit, but one of my dad's more exciting pieces of dad lore is that when he was younger, he was a professional figure skater. He actually has a picture, or he had a picture on his wall of him winning I think it was a national championship. I think it was a regional championship, but it was some kind of a championship. He did win. He was never like particularly good in terms of like the world rankings, but you know, he tried really fucking hard and he got pretty far in terms of figure skating. So I thought a bit about my dad, and I was like, I had some questions for him. It's just like how did like. If I ever have figure skating questions, I can always ask my dad. Also, I watched figure skating when I was a child because my mom and my dad were into figure skating when I was a kid. So I watched a lot of figure skating. Like during like Olympic time, I would watch a lot of figure skating, and I watched a lot of figure skating. So I have more ball knowledge than other people do when it comes to figure skating. I have more ball knowledge. I watched a lot of women's figure skating. A lot of women's figure skating. Those are the two women's sports that I watched a lot of. It was women's figure skating and women's gymnastics. Because my mom and my sisters and my dad, to a certain extent, were into those. So I watched a lot of those. Not a lot of men's figure skating. A lot of women's stuff. What's a figure eight? I can tell you a lot of the names of the moves. I can't tell you the exact, like, the definite, like, exactly how they work on the ice. Like, I know that, like, what when it comes to, like, the names of the moves, like, you know, the triple flip, the triple axle, the triple, you know, toe touch or whatever the fuck. Like, I know all of that is because of the way that they take off and land, you know? When you take off in a certain position and you land in a certain position, that is what you would define as an axle or a toe loop or a flip. That's how you would define all of those moves. And the different levels of, like there's a pretty significant difference between, like, a triple axle and, like, a triple flip or something, right? Those are, like, different levels of difficulty. And that's generally what I know in terms of ball knowledge of skaters. So more than a lot of people do. So beginner ball knowledge? Basically, yeah. Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I wasn't really into the artistic aspects of figure skating. I wasn't sitting there just fucking engrossed. I was not engrossed. Look, man, if I need to get ball knowledge, I have an expert on fucking speed dial, bro. I could call my dad right now and get all the ball knowledge I wanted about figure skating right now, dude. Is your dad niche? My dad was you missed it, but my dad was a figure skater when he was younger. That was his thing. He started as he wanted, like, when he was in college, he wanted to become, like, a professional figure skater. That was his whole thing. Right? So I know, like, I know this is old lore, but I'm just saying that, hey, like, watching this Yuri on Ice thing, like, kind of reminded me of my dad a little bit. Because I'm like, oh, he was a figure skater. I've talked to him a little bit about that. What did the yaoi... The yaoi reminded me of how I actually like reading real yaoi, where the men are allowed to kiss each other instead of, like, being prevented because, like, the goddamn Japanese gay blocker was put into effect. I like my yaoi... I like my gay characters kissing. Okay? Instead of the Japanese gay blockers. That's what I like. What did I just join? I'm complaining about an anime. That is kind of, I would say, pretty outwardly a yaoi anime. It is about boy love. It is about gay people. And that's fine and dandy. But they don't let their gay people kiss. No, it's not hentai. It's a love story where the characters are gay. And they're men. And I just said I want my love story to let the characters do some goddamn PDA. I want some public displays of affection in my goddamn love story. I'm not a cringe kid anymore. At the end of the love story, I want the people to kiss. I want them to confess their love to each other. I want them to say it. I love you. I want to be with you forever. I want that. The ring was more affectionate. Bullshit. They never even said they loved each other. They said, I really like you as a really good friend. You're my favorite coach ever. Like, fuck off, dude. Just say you love him. I have plenty of media literacy. Believe it or not, I was able to clue into the fact that, hey, maybe these two's relationship goes a little bit deeper than just being a coach and a skater. Fucking mind blown. It's not that hard to figure out. I just like it when we don't have to hide behind the goddamn anti-gay blockers. That's all I'm saying. I just like when we don't have to hide behind the anti-gay blockers. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm a mega insano. Put me in the asylum right now. That's all I have. All right, that's my complaint. I'm done complaining about this particular anime. It was good. If you are looking for an anime to watch and you want it to be short and you want it to be sweet, I would suggest Yuri on Ice. It's a very good anime. I think it's got a fun story. I think that some of the scenes of the figure skating go on for way too fucking long, and that time could have been used to maybe develop some of the side characters, but I digress. Either way! I had some recommendations for new animes, but I feel like my weekly anime quota has been hit, so I don't really need to... I don't need to think of anything else. I don't need to watch other anime. You know who released a new video? Fucking Wiffies. Wi-Fi's. The man who notoriously dropped a video. Well, no, the reason I know this is because good friend of the stream, Spood, played a character, apparently, in his new video, so... I don't want to watch it, but I feel I feel like I kind of have to. You know? Watching you play this is like self-diagnosing myself with ADHD. You should have seen me when I played blocky hockey. You would have loved it there. Holy slow. Miraz is infatuated with AI Pog MAGA goons, by the way. Can we talk about that? Cognito hazards? Didn't you just talk... MJ, did we not have a giant conversation about how you are a fan of cognito hazards? Did we not just have a discussion, like last stream, about this? Let's be for real. I didn't do it 3 times. Bro, you would have done it 3 times. I don't even know what his new video is about. I haven't watched it, so... Let's hop on Fort. Let's not. I've actually played Fortnite with my friends before. I was not very good. And I also don't think I have it in my new... I don't want to download the Epic Games Launcher. Actually, that's the worst part about Fortnite, having to download the Epic Games Launcher. No, please. Don't make me do it. I don't want to have to download another fucking game launcher. Just put Fortnite on Steam, please. Just put every game on Steam so I can actually have fun. Fuck you, Epic Games. I don't want to play your shitty Fortnite game. Just let me play it on Steam. I'm finding a big fish. He wants to see Yaoi. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know. I don't know if these new characters that we've got are like great or whatever. So, are you telling me that I should watch it at work and come back with a review? Oh no. Watch Interloper? Oh shit, sorry. Let me make a note about the Interloper thing you want me to watch. Is there like a video? Yaoi and Yuri are the new method, straight jingle and keys. I think it's based. Is this the 7-hour video called Interloper, the greatest ARG ever made? All right, I'll put it on the list. Jesus Christ. I should have talked more about my workout plan now that I have a gym. But I didn't. Interloper and then wifey's new shit. Gotcha. All right, I got both. I can't do a third Currents re-listen. I already did 2. Sorry, I already did 1 Currents re-listen. We're not doing a second. There haven't been any new like albums that have really hit the timeline that I've been particularly interested in listening to. You know? As of late. Drake? What? When did he drop? Are you talking about his triple thing? Speaking of Drake, I was listening to some of Drake's old shit. And I can kind of understand why Drake kind of hates the entire industry as a whole. I kind of get him a little bit because, like, he was kind of dropping bangers back in the day. He was dropping bangers back in the day, and everybody still treated him like a chud. I'm like, come on, man. That's kind of a dog thing to do. He's dropping bangers, and you're still treating him like he's a chud. Like, I'd be a little bit mad too. Now, that's not to say that Drake modern day is not boring as fuck, and that he did not get absolutely smoked by old Kendrick Lamar. But, you know, let's give Drake some credit here. If I had his money, I wouldn't care. No, I think I'd care. I don't think that, I think as a human, I don't think you can stop caring about that shit. You know? I think about some shit that ultimately doesn't really matter, but, you know, how, like how your brain replays all your worst moments back to you when you're in bed. Like, it's like that, bro. Some of that shit just sticks with you, no matter how much money you got. Money doesn't solve all your problems. It solves most of them. It solves like 95% of your problems. But we gotta be honest with ourselves here. Prime Kanye or Prime Drake? Prime Kanye, easily. I don't know why that's a question. I love Graduation. That's a great album. On the day that I graduated from college, I listened to the album Graduation. I woke up and I listened to Graduation. I did that shit. It was corny. I don't deny it. I do not deny it. Prime Kanye or Prime Kendrick? Kendrick to me is like interesting. I feel like I listen to Kendrick when I'm in like, I don't know. I have to be in a different mood for Kendrick Lamar. HH by Kanye. I'm scared what HH stands for. Because I think I know what it stands for. I think there's a reason why you're abbreviating HH because we're on Twitch. Somehow what stuff? There's like something in my brain. Or maybe it is just called HH. Yeah. Yeah. The cover art is not doing him any favors. I'm gonna listen to it. I'll listen to it muted. Because I'm not playing that shit on Twitch. Did he sample SpongeBob? Are we dead ass? This is booty so far. This is ass. When does Kanye start saying some bullshit? This sucks. This is garbage. Why didn't he take off the fucking SpongeBob loop, bro? Why do I hear Squidward's fucking voice over this beat? He just keeps going. Take Squidward off the damn beat, bro. Get him off. How long is this fucking song? Fucking okay. Yeah, that fucking sucks, dude. That fucking blows, dude. That shit was some booty cheeks. That shit was a 2-pack of ass. Man, I'm so glad Kanye's on his beds again. Holy fuck. I have never been happier. Get that man, keep that man on his meds for the rest of existence, bro. I don't care. There's nothing worse than an insane person with enough money to convince themselves that they are sane. Yeah. You're on thin ice, buddy. We don't need to talk about Mr. Hitler on this stream. True. They push the damn limit. True. It's what happens. I mean, wasn't Kanye always like that, though? Wasn't he always like I'm the greatest, I'm super confident in myself? Wasn't he always like that? It was Kanye was cool because he was overconfident in himself back when he was like that guy. It's cool to be that confident in yourself when you're that guy. When you're not that guy and you're that confident, it's kind of lame. Red balls. Look what happened to sheep, same thing. Are we serious? They said I was the greatest goalie of all time. They never said that. They said I was the greatest goalie in the league and I proceeded to win the fucking league. Speak to me softly. Boy. How am I not woke? I'm super woke. How am I not woke? Give me one place where I'm not woke enough. Give me a single position where I do not hold. Except for the one position. Everything else but the one position that I'm not woke enough. Fuck, I totally forgot. Everything but the one place that I'm not woke enough. Give me a place that I'm not woke enough. The big... It's not that big. It's not, or it shouldn't be, but it is. Because, well, welcome to modern day politics. Sheep, you're going to come back in another 20 years and win a Vezina? No. I was thinking about this next tournament, this next, the Blocky Hockey Cancer League. I was going to make that be my last big, casting thing, and then I'm probably just going to stop doing Blocky Hockey stuff for the foreseeable future so I can focus on other projects. Casting is fun, but I need to focus on other stuff. Every single time somebody makes a joke about the 49ers substation, Kyle Shanahan gets to stay on this fuck-ass team for another year. I hope you know that. You are signing your own death warrant. I hope Kyle Shanahan... I'm not going to say the things I hope happen to Kyle Shanahan. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say those words because that would be rude. That would be impolite. I'm not going to say anything because the way I feel like there was some, like, I remember, like, I watched, like, I saw a tweet where somebody was like, I hope that, like, I've never hated somebody more than when, like, I haven't had a bad coach on my sports team. It was some kind of, like, variation of that. Like, I've never felt hatred like that. And, like, I know that feeling now. I hate Kyle Shanahan. I hate Kyle Shanahan. I hate Kyle Shanahan. I hate the athletic and wellness coach on the 49ers. I hate them. I hate them. Because it's not just that Kyle Shanahan is a choker who cannot win a Super Bowl and will not win a Super Bowl, despite how good he seems on the outside. It's that he is injuring the players who I care about and ending their careers early and wasting their limited amount of playing time on shitty preventable injuries. And the Niners fans are going to convince themselves that it's because some stupid fucking electrical substation is besides the sports field, when it does not fucking matter. It is the fucking the car crash. I wish it would have touched his brain a little bit. Maybe if he got a concussion, he would have come out of it a smarter man on the other side. I don't know. The players just standing around to practice. I don't want them to. Why is it only the Niners then? Why is it only the Niners? Why is it the Niners? They're just like dying. Why is it the Niners? It's like, oh my god, our players are fucking injured. Why is it only the fucking Niners? Why is it only the Niners? It's not witchcraft. It's not fucking magic. It's shitty strength and conditioning, and it is shitty coaching practices. It is shitty practicing schedules, and it is shitty staff and personnel. Okay? That is the problem. It is that we have incompetent managers in our organization that are injuring our players. Believe they are the only team that injured. We are not the only team that gets injured, but when it happens every fucking year, wet staff, every fucking year, for like the past 4 or 5 years, key players get injured at crucial times. Why? Every year. It's because our fucking, if it has happened for that long, that consistently, you need to speak to the people who are in charge. And the person who is in charge is Kyle Shanahan, and he needs to get his ass fired. He needs to be out of a job. Fire him. He had a chance to win the Super Bowl, and guess what he did? He lost. He sucks. Get him the fuck off of my team. Thank God I have the Sharks. Thank God. Because the Giants hate gay people, the 49ers are incompetent, the Warriors are old. Thank God I have the Sharks, because if I didn't have the Sharks, I'd go crazy. Also, how are you still a Raiders fan after they fucking moved their asses to fucking LA? Like a bunch of chuds. Like the chudly organization they are. McGambling. Fuck off. Are they not the LA Raiders? Am I crazy? Oh no, sorry, Las Vegas. I said LA. Sorry, I just think that every sports team is in LA because they are. Fucking Las Vegas. Why are there so many sports teams in damn LA? Pisses me off. We don't need multiple sports teams in LA. California has so much greed. There's so much greed in California with sports teams. So much greed. Niners training camp stream? I'm not going to the Niners training camp and streaming it. That is not happening. I don't have enough ball knowledge, and also I haven't even done my fantasy football draft yet, so. Tour of the substation based. This will be happening tomorrow. I'm booking my train tickets. They didn't let you back in the Cobbleverse? What's happening, Cobbleverse? Is there a Cobble thing going on? Sorry, I saw a thing on my timeline about Cobblemon, but... What the f is happening, Cobblemon? Did I miss something? YRG Cobbleverse. Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. I'm just not even. Yeah, let's be honest. Not even. Dude, okay, here's the... I don't want to do the grind. Man, I would not be good with the grinding stuff, dude. It's literally like a whole... It's a whole ass grinding. It's a whole ass grinding server. And I am too employed for this server. I am too employed for this server. Must communicate with at least 5 different players per day. That's crazy. That could have been fun, actually. Too bad I'm employed. Man, if I was unemployed, I'd be fucking goated. But too bad. Came at the wrong time. Why did somebody friend request me? Who is this person? What? No mutual servers. Out of here. What's going on? We can... Somebody is asking if they can stream their POV on Blocky Hockey. Somebody is asking, hey man, I really want to stream my POV on my Blocky. Am I allowed to do... What are you talking about, brother? Jesus. Man... I just don't really... I try not to engage with that whole side of the community. Your Rage. He seems like a pretty cool guy, though. Of that side of the spectrum, he feels like one of the cooler guys. It's just like, I feels like I see like my fucking, like my monthly like Rakai clip or something, and it's like, you know... I don't want to engage. Maybe that's just like a Kai group thing, though. I group them all together in my mind, though. What was it back in the day? It was like called the WL community, is what they called it. But I feel like the WL community was more like in cahoots with like Aiden Ross, and Aiden Ross has gone fully off the deep end. So it feels like there is more division between that community than I give them credit for. I don't want to like put them all in one giant category. That feels rude. It feels like there's like the FaZe boys, and it feels like, to me, it feels like the FaZe boys and like, you know, Kai Cenat and like Your Rage. It feels like they're all like 1 degree of separation away from each other. But I'm probably tripping balls, so. It's funny because I feel like back in the day, I used to consider like Speed to be part of that kind of group of creators. It was like, oh yeah, Speed's in there, because Speed was also kind of like the loud, like, he was kind of also that kind of like that loud clip farmer type of streamer, and I'm like, oh yeah, he fits right in them. But he's kind of become his own little monster, so. I guess that's what it takes. You gotta clip farm your way to a World Cup. Speed's just another KSI? Really? I feel like what Speed is doing is like way bigger than what KSI ever did, but I was never a big KSI fan, so. I watched a little bit of KSI back when he was in his PewDiePie era. But beyond that, I kind of just know him from Sidemen stuff, and that's kind of it. I've watched more Lifetime, I've watched more Vikkstar 123 than I have watched KSI. Streaming wasn't big. Bro, I was a Minecraft kid, dude. Vikkstar was a Minecraft guy back when I was like a kid growing up, dude. I was watching fucking Minecraft videos, dog. I was nowhere near the KSI stuff. I was on Minecraft 100%, bro. I was watching Sunday and Sky Does Minecraft and Vikkstar. I was watching those guys. Yeah, man. I didn't even know that KSI was like more famous than fucking Vikkstar until like I started like until the Sidemen started to become a thing, you know? Back when I like, you know, when I used to be watching the Sidemen shit. I didn't even know KSI was like a big deal. Got blessed by George Lombard Jr. at the Yankees game? You went to a Yankees game? Are you a Yankees fan? You poor soul. I don't know, if you are a Yankees fan, I'm sorry. If you're a Mets fan, I feel even worse. $27 rings, so it hurts even more, is what you're saying, Wet Stuff. To watch the current state of the Yankees organization. To be fair, I'm not really a baseball guy. I kind of only watch because the Dodgers are a thing. And I've only really watched the World Series. And, you know, for as much shit as people throw at the Dodgers, the last two World Series have been bangers, so. I've witnessed all 27 based. All I know, bro, is that the last two baseball championships have been fucking insane. Dude, that last series, man, Dodgers versus Blue Jays, oh my god, inject that shit into my veins, please. Give me another one of those. Golly. Holy banger. The Dodgers isn't fun to watch? You're lying if you're gonna say that the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays was not peak cinema. You are lying to me, you're lying to yourself, and you're lying to the entire audience. Now, I'm not saying I know anything about the regular season. Maybe the regular season sucks, and the Dodgers are, like, miserable because, like, they spend the most money and they have all the best players. I'm not denying that. But, man, oh man, bro, I'm saying that World Series was fun as hell. That was, I mean, Game 7 World Series, you know, overtime, like, that shit's a banger, bro. Come on. Let's be for real. Shohei Ohtani had 10 strikeouts and 3 fucking home runs in one playoff game. Now, he's been shit throughout the entirety of, like, every single playoff game that I see Ohtani in, I feel like he plays like shit. But he did have that one game, so fuck it. I feel like Lifetime Shohei Ohtani is like a... At what point does... Sorry, like I said, I'm not like a baseball head, so I do not know ball knowledge. But like, I'm going to talk about the most basic like sports fan conversation ever. When do we start, like, can't we have a baseball conversation about... Or sorry, a GOAT conversation about baseball? Or is like the game like too old to have like a meaningful GOAT conversation about baseball? No, I haven't watched Barry Bonds. I did not. I watched the Giants back when they got their rings, and then I stopped watching. I don't know if you can have a meaningful baseball conversation with, or a meaningful GOAT conversation inside baseball. Top prospect, and he hits first career homer. All I know is that they keep on trying to sell me the goddamn A's in Sacramento, and I refuse. I categorically refuse to engage with the A's in anything that they do. Ever since the A's left Oakland, they're a rat team. No, that's what I'm saying. We already have our own shit sports team, okay? I've kind of had to begrudgingly become like a Kings supporter. I wouldn't say I'm a Kings fan, because I didn't grow up with the Kings. And the Kings have wronged my Warriors plenty of times, but I've become a Kings supporter just because I live in Sac. And, you know. Were you wearing a Jeter jersey? I don't think I ever wore a single baseball jersey. I have a basketball jersey. But it's too small, and the guy who's on it doesn't play for the Warriors anymore. So, it's kind of out of date. But the Warriors are not a team that I have any high hopes for. Like I said, my hatred for Steve Kerr is it's there, but it's not great like my hatred for Kyle Shanahan is. I don't like Steve Kerr. I have a tacit dislike for Steve Kerr, and the only way the Warriors organization is going to become relevant again is when we get him the fuck off the team. But I don't know. He's fine. I don't have the Kyle Shanahan level dislike for him. So. And again, I have my Sharks, so. I've already talked to my parents. We're going to be going to a Sharks game. Sometime, I believe, in October. We're going to be going to a Sharks game. And I love the Sharks. I love them. Especially after they dropped, like, what was it, 18 mil a year on fucking Macklin Celebrini? Entirely based, by the way. He is the kind of player you drop 18 mil a year on. He breaks your all-time point record as a, 19-year-old? Is Macklin Celebrini 20 yet? I'm not sure. He breaks your all-time point record in a single season at 19. Yeah, you're gonna drop a bag on his ass. Respectfully. This shit's so boring. Welcome to Red Bull. You're not here for the gameplay. Oh, damn it, I was too low. I can still get a good time on this. Damn, I went too far. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go late game runs. This early game runs is not it, unfortunately. Tragic. We didn't really get anything going. Alien Arcadium, how it only gets interesting late game. I mean, that's speedrunning, bro. Welcome to the land of suffering and pain. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Speedrunning fucking sucks. But it's the world I live in, so. I kind of run out of steam early. That's the thing with Red Ball streams. It feels like the middle is kind of the worst part. Because I get some steam early, because I got all my talking points, and then I run out of shit to talk about. And then it kind of goes flat, but then sometimes I'll get like a late game booster, you know, where somebody will just come in with some crazy shit. And I'm just full at it again. My parents were telling me that, like, oh man, you should take like a vacation sometime. You've been working so hard. You probably have some accrued vacation hours. You should really take a vacation. I'm like, you know, maybe they're right. Maybe I should take a vacation. I can't do it now, unfortunately, just because of the way work is. But in the future, I should consider taking a vacation. And it was like, maybe I should do something. So I was looking into, like, esports events. Like, maybe I could travel to, like, an esports event and go watch something, like, live. I think that would be pretty cool. I think I'd have a lot of fun doing that. So I was looking into, like, League of Legends finals. I was looking into, like, some like a CSGO tournament or a CS2 tournament. Something like that, I think could be really cool and fun for me to go to. Unfortunately, nothing's really happening that's in the time range that I want it to be in and is local enough for me to consider traveling to. The American League Championships, the League of Legends Championships for League, it's happening in, like, Georgia. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna take my ass down to Georgia. I'm good. Oh, speaking of something. You know what I can do today? Oh my god, I just remembered. You guys reminded me. I can check my jury duty. They should have updated it by now. I don't think I'm going to have any assignments. No, I just want to see if I get anything. Damn. They're just telling me to recheck it tomorrow. Never mind. Well, I got nothing. Damn, I can't lie. They're going through a lot of groups. I'm at the back half of the groups, but they're calling it pretty deep here, so I have to recheck on Wednesday, tomorrow. I might actually have to text my manager off work hours. I've gotten through my entire job. This entire job, I've been able to get through it without having to text my manager a single time. I don't have a single work app on my phone. I don't have Outlook. I don't have Teams. I don't have any work app on my phone. I have literally no contact with anything work-related outside of the clock. I only have my one manager's phone number. That is all I have. I finally hit level 8. I'm not saying I want to do jury duty. I'm just saying that it's at least something interesting to look at. Who knows? Maybe it'll be more interesting than my day-to-day job. Who knows? I mean, I've never done it before, so how bad could it be, right? What is it about Ultra Kill that makes people transition? Maybe it's not the Ultra Kill that's making people transition. Maybe it's just that Ultra Kill attracts people who are already thinking about transitioning. Feels like a very chicken and the egg type situation, Miraz. No! I hit the three frame perfects, dude. On level 11, that's crazy. Generally a minority? That's cool, I think. I think that's pretty cool. I think that when I had a conversation, I think back, if I could try to like rationalize it in a more like academic sense, I guess. Maybe that's not the word. But I remember a conversation I had with my brother. How do I say this? Hold on, I'm gonna wait until the run is over before I try to talk about this. Because I want to, like, say words without, like, unintentionally being offensive. Even though I don't think anything I'm saying is offensive. I don't want to, like, I don't want to mince words with this. Missed it. I wonder if here's a thought that I've had. I think everybody like expresses themselves through the communities that they take part in, the hobbies that they take part in. And I wonder if there is like some part of like the trans experience that kind of predisposes you to more counterculture movements, because it feels like your own like it feels like your own being has been failed by like the I guess culture, right? The established norm, the established cultural norms. It feels like what you are as a trans person has been failed by that system, right? Our current cultural norms aren't set up to accommodate trans people. So it feels like people who do kind of fall into that category would be more interested in the more extreme, I guess, I don't want to say extreme, but like the more, again, I guess counterculture type things, more revolutionary ways of expressing themselves. And I think that Ultra Kill as a game, and even like the concept of speedrunning Ultra Kill, I think Ultra Kill kind of fits, for me, it fits that mold kind of perfectly of like what a counterculture thing would be, you know? I mean, my brother is into like fucking heavy metal and shit. That's pretty counterculture. My brother's into a lot of things. My brother likes dressing in ways that mog me. I get fashion mogged by my brother constantly. It's a daily occurrence. No, dude. I already spent my entire fucking stream going for regular runs, and I got fucked on every time I hit 7 because I couldn't complete it. So the answer is no. And also I have like, dude, I have like 10 minutes left of stream before I have to go hit the goddamn, before I have to go hit the bicycle machine, bro. I have like 15 more minutes until suffering is fucking endemic on my legs. So can you let me have this? I've been doing my bench presses on a Smith machine, and I don't know if that's W or L. I've been doing my my bench presses on a Smith machine. I've been doing my what's it called? Like hip thrust, glute bridges, whatever the fuck you call them. I've been doing those with just a regular like dumbbell. Or just a regular, like weight rack. And I don't know if that is, like, optimal. Because I see a lot of the girlies. I've been seeing a lot of the girlies do their glute bridges on the Smith machine. And I feel like I should be switching off. I should be getting on that Smith machine. Because I always do incline bench. I've decided that, you know, flat bench is a fake exercise. It's for ego lifters. I think there are a lot of exercises that are like that. I think that flat bench, squats, deadlift, I think those are ego lifts. You're not doing those because you're trying to get a good workout in because you want to like huff some weight around and feel good about yourself, which is fine. If that's what motivates you, I think that's cool. But I'm trying to get a good workout in, and it feels like there are better exercises that allow me to do more with less than a goddamn ego lift. And also less risk of injury, right? Like I love squats as much as the next guy, but it's like if I'm loading up the weight on my squats when I could just be on a much safer machine or a much safer movement, like why the fuck am I doing this, right? I don't need to be trying to kill myself here. And the Smith machine kind of feels like that example, right? The Smith machine feels like the weight, like the machine where you don't kill yourself. Although there is something to be said about like working out your stabilizer muscles. So maybe I'm crazy. My mother is being done by my chat member. No. How could this happen? Mother, I must contact you. I've received some critical information. Some intelligence about your recent whereabouts, and I need to confirm this information. Immediately. Have you slept with this man? Geometry Dash music? I don't really be listening to that much Geometry Dash music if we are being dead as. All the Geometry Dash music I listened to was music I found not through Geometry Dash music, so in my head it is not Geometry Dash music, you know? Like fucking Tidal Wave? I found that shit through Rocket League. That shit was geometry. That shit was never Geometry Dash music. That was Rocket League music. Let's go. It's like a 214. Not good enough. My level 7 sucks today. I don't know why. Dude, my level 7 is terrible. Why does this game insist on hating me? My eyes have started to glaze over. I think I gotta call it. My stomach is grumbling like crazy. Why the fuck am I so hungry? I don't get it. I have to work out. I can't eat dinner before I work out or else I'm gonna hate the rest of my evening. Eating has to be the last thing I do or else I'm gonna end my life. Joke. And that's real. Alright, gamers, I am gonna get out of here. I will talk to all of you possibly on Thursday. There might be I might be late on Thursday because I might be doing some blocky hockey stuff. But I will keep you updated on that. Either way, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. I've got to get out of here. I will talk to you gamers on Thursday. Peace. Bye. Goodbye now. Bye. Bye now. I am leaving you forever. Bop.